Hidely ho, drinkerinos. Welcome to the Idaho Booze Podcast with me, Steve Kuntz. On today's show, we are diving into the technology abyss and talking all about AI with Jim Harris. Jim specializes in new tech and, more importantly, how to incorporate that tech into breweries, wineries, and bars to streamline and optimize the shit that you don't want to do so you have more time to do the shit you want to do, mainly make beer and wine. It's a fun conversation. I know you guys working in the industry hate to hear it, but change is coming, and this guy can help you adapt. I have a new segment that I want to roll out, and we have a Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week, perfect for the fair. That's all coming up next, right here on the Idaho Booze Podcast. It's time for the Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week. This week's cocktail pays homage to the fair. It is going on here in Ada County right now, and if it's not happening where you are, well, it will come to you soon. You can't stop it. It's the fair. This fair-themed drink is named after my favorite ride at the fair and the number one place to find vomit on the floor. That's right, the Scrambler. For this one, you're going to need a shaker, obviously, and some ice. Go ahead and add an ounce of Warren Reserve burnt sugar syrup to the shaker, 2 dashes of Warren Reserve West 509 bitters, 1 ounce apple brandy, 1.5 ounces of bourbon, and if you can find it, I recommend getting like the airplane bottle for half an ounce to an ounce. If you want to use the whole bottle, go ahead, of butterscotch schnapps. This is going to kind of taste like, you see where I'm going with this? Kind of like a caramel apple sort of deal. You're going to shake all of those up until the shaker is uncomfortable to hold. Strain it into a tumbler with ice and top it with a high quality ginger beer. And there you have it. It's a Scrambler. But step right up if you want to hear this. If you want to double that recipe, throw it into one of those big dumb cups, those Stanley cups, and head off to the fair. No one's going to know. The Scrambler incorporates all the ingredients found in my new cocktail package from Warren Reserve. Adrian and Danny finally let me offer you this amazing combo that includes 1 big bottle of Warren Reserve burnt sugar syrup, which is, I cannot stress this enough. I can't. It's great in everything. There's nothing it's not good in. It's probably good by itself. 1 bottle of aromatic bitters and a bottle of my absolute favorite West 509 bitters. All of this is available in a pack for just $34.99, but use my promo code IdahoBooze25 and get 15% off the whole pack. Use the code SAVE BIG and get on this Scrambler with Warren Reserve at warrenreserve.com. This has been the Warren Reserve Cocktail of the Week. This show brought to you by Warren Reserve Cocktail Company and warrenreserve.com. It's still kind of hot. It's August. It's still a little warm out there, but the nights are getting cooler, right? As we move towards fall, old-fashioned season is coming back. Oh, and you need to be ready. And have I got the product for you? They finally did it. Adrian and Danny at Warren Reserve finally put my old-fashioned kit up on the website. It is there. You can go and buy my old-fashioned bundle. This is going to be the burnt sugar syrup. Amazing. So good. So much better than regular simple syrup. Just an amazing flavor, complex flavors, amazing with that old-fashioned, with any whiskey really, but really paired nicely with a nice like 100 proof whiskey. Really, really good. Aromatic bitters are on there. The Warren Reserve aromatic bitters, different than the ones you're used to, a little bit more flavor, a little bit more sort of oomph in these bitters. And then my favorite, my absolute favorite bitter, the West 509 almond bitter. When I tell you that I love this bitter, I am not joking around here. I'm not essing around. These are the best. This is the best combination for an old fashioned. This is the kit that you want. warrenreserve.com. Pick up my old fashioned kit. And I tell you what, I'm going to throw in a little deal here for you. Use promo code IdahoBooze25, support the show, and get 15% off my old-fashioned bundle. It's right there, right under my big fake picture. The old-fashioned bundle, burnt sugar syrup, aromatic bitters, West 509 almond bitters, all at warrenreserve.com. Go and get it today. Get ready for old-fashioned season with me and my old-fashioned bundle and promo code IdahoBooze25. Get 15% off at warrenreserve.com. Welcome back to the show. Today we are talking to Jim Harris, an expert in AI and other tech, used to help food and beverage companies navigate the complexity of what's new and what's coming. Look, I know a lot of you work in the adult beverage business and don't want to hear about tech. Like ever. But Jim is an expert on taking your old, beat-up, piece of shit POS system, applying some AI magic, and setting you up for success in 2026 and beyond. The technology explosion of 2025 has been crazy. If you haven't had a chance to check out some AI apps and get to know this new tech, then you need to put down the sandwich and pick up your smartphone, because this is important. It's life-altering and it is here to stay. In fact, this whole time I've been talking, it was an AI voice cloning app that I paid $10 for to specifically do this, talk to you like it was me. Were you fooled? Were you? A lot of people will tell you that AI is here to take our jobs. Take our jobs. Some people will lose out because of AI. It's true. It's absolutely true. Self-checkout stands at the grocery stores have been around for 10 years? So people are going to lose out. It's just the way technology kind of works, but it doesn't have to be that way. I'm in marketing. So the first tools that all these nerds are making will put me on the chopping block. Honestly, every AI tool that I've seen is put on earth to get rid of your marketing department. But you know what? I'm heading the other direction. I'm learning how to use these AI tools so that I know I have them in my quiver, so to speak. So if we all learn to use the AI tools designed for what they do, then you can minimize the effect on them when they start to take over, when, CEOs and other business leaders that clearly do not listen to this show, they're not going to catch on to this shit for another 5 or 6 years. If they're not saying it out loud or writing it on the wall, it doesn't exist to them. So learn them now so you can go to your boss, go to your CEO and say, hey, I know how to do this. Put me in charge of this. You can make your life better with AI right now. Take my little business, for example, Like Button. If you guys need any marketing or anything, likebutton.us. Check that out. So I'm a pretty good writer. I'd say I'm a really fairly good writer. And I'm a decent designer. And when I say decent, I mean subpar. And when I say subpar, I mean my designs appear to be put together by a blind chimp with a Canva account. So I use a tool to design. I have actually 2 of them that I use. So these 2 tools I use sort of in concert to create ads and do other stuff so that I don't have to design shit because I'm not good at it. So why do it? That new voice tool that you just heard, that's going to be used for commercials and VOs for social media. Anything paid, I'm going to use a person because I still like working with real people. I like voice artists. I have some friends of mine that are voice artists that are really good. So I like using them, but I don't want to pay for social. So I'm not going to. I'll just use that voice thing. It sounds great. And I thought I sounded pretty good on that. I actually thought I sounded better than normal. It definitely didn't sound like I had 2 cigars the other night. That's for sure. I have an app that schedules my appointments because why not? 2 clicks and we've got a date scheduled. We're good to go. It does all the follow-up. It does emails. I can even set it to send a post email for after our appointment. It can do everything. Why not? It's great. I use an AI tool called Podcastle AI to record today's interview. You're going to hear with Jim. This is an instance where, they just put I think they just put the letters AI on the end of Podcastle because it really is just like a slower, clunkier Zoom with a better record quality. The record quality is way better than Zoom, but everything else, sorry, Podcastle, you're not paying me. So, I do like your product, but it is kind of clunky. So, let's get on that and fix some things there. And the other thing about the voice guy, going back to the voice Steve that we had earlier, he doesn't stumble over shit as much as I do. So that's also a good thing. He might be in charge of the show in a year. I don't know. Back to marketing. I use a tool that tells you who visits the website. So this is it's like a kind of, not really a scraper, but it's like a cookie thing, I guess. I don't really know. I don't really understand how it works, but it tells you who visits the website and then is able to generate audiences for Facebook and Google so that I can use those audiences in ads that more closely resemble the website visitors so that I'm getting people that actually are interested in what I'm doing according to this AI and this algorithm thing that, they'll come back and buy stuff, I guess. Facebook, not to be outdone, Meta has a new AI called Andromeda. Andromeda is really cool. And you can tell it's cool because all the people that do all those geeky podcasts about marketing, they are really like super geeked out over Andromeda. They love Meta again. Everybody loves Facebook again. And what I like about Andromeda is it makes ad buying more direct and easier, which is another bad sign for me. But it makes it easier. It makes it more direct. If you know how to put the ads together, I'm not going to share the secret sauce on that one. It still uses so now I guess instead of just being the algorithm, which was kind of complicated. The algorithm was complicated. You had to really set things up in the right way. Otherwise, it would show your ads to people you didn't want to see. It would go all over the place. Like if you just strictly used the algorithm maybe a year ago, you were getting terrible results and Meta was awful. But now with Andromeda, so Andromeda basically has latched onto the algorithm, kind of like an Alien where that thing latches onto your face. And it's impregnated the algorithm with AI, I guess. And it's going to come out a big scary monster. I don't know. I don't know where that metaphor is going. But what I do know is it now works in a way that makes sense to me and means more money for my clients. Since I've been using that Andromeda and those Meta ads, my clients have been doing a lot better. So I'm happy to say that. I have two. Email is one of those things that I've gotten better at, but I'm not good at. I have a friend, Adam, who is the Picasso of email. He's amazing. That guy, he created money out of thin air. He was amazing. So not me. I used MailChimp wherever I went and it worked okay. But now I have two AI email tools that do completely different things. One is MailChimp. It's like a MailChimp on old school Jose Canseco steroids. And the other latches onto my Gmail and allows me to do stuff that MailChimp charges you to do, like mail merges and keeping track of emails and when they get opened and who watches them, who clicks on what, all that fun stuff. So that's just hooked onto my Gmail. So it's super easy, really simple, and it works. I mean, I've sent out a couple different merge emails and they've worked really well. So I'm happy with that. And those are cool new AI tools. I also use ChatGPT like everyone else. So ChatGPT has sort of been relegated to this like Google on steroids again, maybe on Mark McGuire steroids. ChatGPT is, how do I put this in a way that doesn't sound weird? You know that movie Her? It's like that. I use ChatGPT for literally everything. If I was to get remarried or married again or whatever, ChatGPT would be my best man. I ask it for medical advice. I ask it for advice on marketing the show, anywhere I'm blind, anywhere I need help, tips on how to use other AI tools. Basically everything that I feel like Google can't handle, I use ChatGPT for. So I don't ask ChatGPT to look up stuff for me or anything like that. I ask it deeper, more meaningful things like what demographic would be best for this particular show? Who should I market this to? How should I make this sound? Stuff like that. It's not just like, hey, ChatGPT, make me a resume. It's like, hey, ChatGPT, look at my resume and tell me why I didn't get this job. And then it'll, tell me. So I have a friend who's using ChatGPT for her business in ways that like scare me, but she's creating new businesses from just using ChatGPT. So these AI tools are really powerful and really fun. There's some of them that are just for fun. The ones that like make cat photos and stuff like that. There was a great Jon Stewart, what's his name? Not Jon Stewart, the other guy, John Oliver show the other day about AI slop. AI slop is fantastic. Everybody loves it. Who doesn't love watching bunnies bounce on a trampoline? It's a lot of fun. These are just off the top of my head. There's so many other tools out there that can help you with your work or life or everything in between. And you just writing them off as some kind of force that's only here to destroy humanity is the absolute wrong way to act. And Jim and I are going to talk all about new tech, specifically AI, how it's going to help the beverage world and more. And we're doing that right after this. This show brought to you by Snake River Wine Tours. I am writing a book about Idaho wine, and I needed to get out to wine country. I had to introduce myself. I had to see how the wine was made. and Snake River Wine Tours was there for me. They provided an expert tour guide, John, who was very nice and knew everything about every winery we went to. I didn't have to worry about getting lost. I didn't have to worry about driving home. All I had to do was sit back and relax. And wouldn't you know it, I brought 4 friends with me and my wife. We all hung out. We had a blast. There were snacks, there was water, anything you could need. But the best part about Snake River Wine Tours was the behind the scenes access that we got. We had an expert from every winery come and tell us all about all the wines. We did tastings that nobody else was able to do. We did things behind the scenes that other people just didn't get access to, all because we went with Snake River Wine Tours. And this can happen for you too. And they'll accommodate any group, from an intimate 2-person wine tour, little adventure for 2, all the way up to private groups up to 64 people. They will get you out there and in style too. The van was big, it was comfortable, it had tons of room, and we had a great time. You make friends when you go on like a mixed tour like we did. We were singing and laughing the whole way home. It was an amazing trip. We were able to do it on a Sunday, which was amazing. We went out on a Sunday and hit up a bunch of wineries, and you can do it too. And they plan 7 days a week, year round. You can make your trip starting today at snakeriverwinetours.com, voted number 1 by USA Today. There you go. That's all you need to know. Snake River Wine Tours, for the best adventure out on the sunny slope in the Snake River AVA. Go to snakeriverwinetours.com today. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz. I already messed it up, Jim. Here with Jim Harris. Jim, how are we doing today?
I'm doing great, thanks, Steve.
So, Jim, tell us a little bit about yourself and what you're doing, what you're into, and kind of how you got here today.
Yeah, so I'm Jim Harris. I'm the food and beverage software specialist for Western Computer. We're tightly aligned with Microsoft on the systems that Microsoft puts out for businesses to run on. And a lot of that now is more AI built. So there's a lot of really cool things coming that are AI that Microsoft's and other companies have gotten ahead on. And I think the adoption's not there yet, obviously, in beverage alcohol, but I think it's going in that direction. So my last 25 years has been beverage alcohol. So helping different size companies with technology, both on the supplier and distributor side. So I come at it from both sides.
So in my other life, I work a lot with car dealerships and stuff like that. So would you say that beverage alcohol is behind even car dealerships when it comes to technology and kind of adopting new practices?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's been the case for a while. I mean, I think, as a lot of these are smaller family businesses, or even the ones that are a little bit bigger, have a lot of habits that are, manual, a lot of paper, a lot of Excel spreadsheets, and not really looking at systems. And I know when I meet some of these people, if I'm having a drink at a conference, like, I just don't even know where to start. It's like, well, you got to start somewhere. Go up the list, and like 52 weeks later, you're going to be in a better spot. So
I know. The first time I did a consult with a car dealership, I was like, we're going to use Facebook to make you money. And they were like, I don't think so. My daughter uses that. And now it's the same thing. It's just with AI. And beverage companies are notoriously slow to catch up to. They first of all, I think most brewers out there feel like they're still back in the 1700s, that they're monks, spontaneously fermenting, malted barley. So, it's tough when you have to start there. So how do you start that conversation with a brewery or a winery that really doesn't want to go with you?
I think it's trying to find some early wins. You don't have to put a new system in to get some early wins. Like, you look at, maybe some paper, you put it into a form of some sort, or you've got, incoming customers. How do you make the experience less steps? So a lot of it's just putting a diagram together and say, how many steps is this process? From someone to order from you to when you actually deliver. And if it's 10 steps, how do you make it 7? How do you make it 5? How do you make it 3? And so once you cut out steps, you cut out lots of paper going back and forth, but also, you get better quality. So I think a lot of it is looking at, how did you do it before? Well, how do you do it now? And what's your expectations? And I think what I find too, a lot of owners don't realize how many steps their team has put in to do any project, and there's a lot of wait time because I have something I need to do, but I need Steve. I need you to help me, and you're not available. It's like, well, why do you even need Steve for this? Like, is he just going to say yes? Like, if he's
Yeah.
yes, like, is that even or is it going to go whatever you agree to? So I think a lot of that is just better decision making, but yeah, so a lot of it's just putting in systems, and there's a lot of people that can help you with that, whether it's our team or there's a lot of consultants out there that can just give you just like
We
look at
lost
what you do now. How do you get
there
better
it is.
at it?
Yeah, and if there's one thing we know that people in the alcohol beverage industry love, it's steps, more steps. They love that. So you work with a company called Western Computer. You guys work with Microsoft. Microsoft kind of on the forefront of AI technology, even if people don't understand that. What's the big? I mean, I know what the big Microsoft AI technology is. Why don't you tell us what it is and tell us how breweries can use it to sort of update what they're doing maybe now without having to call you in for a 4-hour consultation.
Sure. Microsoft's product's called Copilot. It's their AI tool. They partner with OpenAI with their ChatGPT as the base. So they
ChatGPT.
invested a bunch of money in that. And so I know I'm sitting
A
I'm
bunch of
sitting
money, $10 billion.
Yeah, probably
A
more
bunch of
now.
money. That's good.
Part of this though is like whatever AI tool you choose, you should be using it every day. You should have it on your phone. You should have it on your laptop. I mean, every email I send, I check it first. Every document I create, I check it first. I mean, you don't always use what it gives you, but it always gives you something that you always gives you something you hadn't considered, and that's valuable. And then I think there's a play to let your team do it, but part of that is making sure your team is doing it the same way. They're all using different tools or different ways. Like, just have a meeting one day. It's like, who's using AI? What are you using? And just share best practices that way. And I've seen a lot of success in people consolidating down. It's like, okay, let's pay for this and get a better result, but let's use it in these specific ways. And so that becomes part of the process. And a lot of times, and that's the world now. So you got AI is in 3 levels, right? The first level, everyone knows, like you type in something and get a result back. The second level is you have a process that you build and you add an AI to like the 3rd or 4th step, but a human developed that process. The bigger future is you just tell AI what to do and it's going to create its own checklist and it's going to go through and create a schedule for you. It's going to buy an airline ticket. It's going to do a lot of things that you hadn't even considered. There's going to be billions of AI agents that will do different things, and that's the future. So think about it as, let's say you're a winery and you sell direct to consumer, or you're a brewery and you want to sell direct to consumer. If you put that into an AI agent, it's going to give you the ability to not have to program all the steps. If someone comes in and asks about a certain product, it's going to have that information available. It's going to be able to upsell them. There's going to be a lot of really cool things there. And it can even include phones. I mean, some of the new technology now on when you call in. I mean, just look at this, Steve. Like, you go to every Fortune 500 company, you can't find a phone number now. 0 phone numbers. You said every company had an 800 number, no more. In a couple of years, it's going to flip. They're going to want you to call because they can know who you are. They can change the accent. They can slow down or speed up. Like, there's going to be so much to make it easier to communicate. In fact, a lot of the stuff we do to type right now into Google or into an AI tool is going to go more like this, where we're talking. You're going to just talk to your AI and you're going to say, I need to do these things. And the AI is going to be doing it on the screen for you. That's why the glasses are going to come in handy too, where you can see things. So like, it's not if this is coming, it's just like, how fast can you adopt it?
It's already happening. Like that's kind of how I use ChatGPT is instead of like as a Google, thing, I chat with it. I'm just like, hey, what do you think about this? And then, okay, that's good. Well, what if we did this? Like, it's almost like like you said, like it's just not like face to face. It's just interface. I'm just typing it in, almost like that weird that movie, or whatever that movie is.
Well, that ends up like, but as an average consumer, like if I'm searching on Cabernets from Napa, or if I'm searching on, a lager or something I want, a lot of people are using ChatGPT. So one of the things it's important to do is make sure your website or whatever you're selling direct to consumer is optimized for the AI agents, because it's not the same as Google.
Oh, that's interesting.
The keywords. So we had to redesign just on our Western Computer side. We had to put all our keywords, we had to change them up and look at them differently, because a lot of people are searching through that and it doesn't show up the same way.
So what, besides ChatGPT, what are some AI tools that breweries or wineries could use right now that would help them be more like help them be more efficient in maybe the uh, operation side or something like that.
I think that where we're seeing a lot of AI is in forecasting. So look at, because so much of this business is seasonal, like beer is more summer, wine and spirits is more winter. But there's months that things go up and down. There's certain products that sell more at certain times of the year. So building in seasonality into your model to figure out what's our demand now, how much production do we need to meet this demand, where is that going to come from, what part of the country, what are the things. So I think you can use a lot of AI tools to just drop that data into, like, if you have data of your sales over the last 2 years and you put it in an AI tool, and you can anonymize it so no one knows it's you, but it'll come back with some really cool insights on thinking about when to produce things, when to do that, and then also in some cases where to price it, because pricing is changing a lot right now. That we've had a lot of inflation. It's starting to level off a little bit, but there's so many brands fighting for shelf space that they're going down in price. Like really understanding your competitive set if you're at retail or even at the restaurant level, like who else is selling. So really understanding your pricing, and you can get some good insights by just having even raw data into an AI will give you back some really interesting insights. You can ask it some good questions.
And are there any tools maybe on the brewing side that brewers can use? Is there anything out there right now that you're seeing, or that winemakers can use that can help them be more efficient when they're actually making their product?
I would go to any vendor you have right now, any vendor that has software that's, let's say, for production software, either a wine or brewery side, and just say, what do you have that, how are you using AI? Because every software company in the world is adding some level of AI in. It's getting cheaper to do and it's getting easier. So, one of the things that I love when my customers raise their hand and say, I'm interested in being first on this. Can we try this out? And usually it's free. We're not trying to, we will both want to learn. So like, I think if you have any software that you buy and that you use every day, you should be asking, what's your AI component? How can I use it to make my business better?
Yeah, agreed. And so, is there anything that with this new kind of AI happening and all this new technology that will get pint prices back down to a reasonable level? Because right now, pints are like $7, $8. Is there any way that we're going to get back to a $5 or $6 pint? Maybe using some of these tools to make things more efficient.
That's a great question. If you look over history, it's hard to see prices coming back down once they hit
Yeah,
a certain spot, because people
no
get used
kidding.
to having those margins. But yeah, I don't know that AI is going to help us with that, Steve. But maybe AI helps you with optimizing your recipes so that you use a little less of something, so you can lower your costs, so you can make a little more money on it.
That'd be
So
interesting. I think that'd be cool. Like it would. It's this whole AI thing that's happening. It's happening so fast. I don't think people understand how fast it's happening. Like it's already like pretty much there. Like you said, the technology for the chips is already coming down. The price is already coming down. And all the chips get better. So we're just going to see more and more of this. And I watched an interview with Sam Altman the other day, and he was talking about how it's going to be like the Industrial Revolution times 100. Like it's
yeah,
just going to happen, and you're going to wake up and be there. So what happens when we wake up in an AI world and we're a brewery isn't that isn't up to speed on it? What happens to those breweries?
I think they're going to, yeah, obviously they're going to struggle because if you're not adapting the new technology, but again, you have vendors that are providing you software that you can leverage. And I think that will be, a big part of it. But the world's changing. Like when you look at the internet that really kicked in the 90s, there wasn't enough infrastructure. I just saw that AOL finally deprecated. I think in September they're going to stop their dial-up. Remember the noise with the
Oh,
dial-up and all that? That's
yeah,
finally
I
going
do.
away after 30 years. Um, what's different now? And there was a lot, that dot-com bubble where the benefit of that was there was a lot of money that went into infrastructure, so high-speed internet and all that's gotten much easier to get. Even if you're in a rural area, you've got Starlink and satellite stuff. So there's a lot of things that have made that easier. I think the difference now is back then there was so much money, but it was all investor money and it just went away. Now you've got all these companies that have, like Meta, I think is putting $80 billion. That's money they already have in the bank. They're not asking anybody for the money, and they're taking a long-term view of it because they can see where it's going. So there's about $1 trillion going into AI in different formats. It's going to change. I think, Steve, what it's not just so like making a product like a wine or spirit or beer product, but it's also like understanding how your consumer is going to change. Like, how are they searching for products? How are they looking at things? what do they want to know about your product? I think that is going to be adjusting too. And so I think meeting your customers where they are is important, and meeting them in a way that is meaningful. So I think if you can find ways to do that, um,
I mean, these all sound like all the problems that we've always had, right? And so I would say, like, I look at, I use AI a lot in my for my digital agency, and I look at it like this: like, I used to spend 2 hours on Photoshop making an ad look nice. Now I spend 30 seconds telling a prompt to make me an ad that looks nice, and then maybe I spend 5 minutes cleaning it up. So, what sort of things are out there right now that you're using, that you're suggesting to wineries in particular, since that's kind of your niche? What sort of specific things are you guys doing at Western Computer, and you guys working with Microsoft, that are helping wineries like maybe increase wine club or stuff like that?
we're doing a lot on the buying side, helping them see where their inventory is, especially if they import, making sure they understand costs with tariffs and how that impacts their cost of goods sold. Because that's a big part of it. A lot of people, if you don't have really good systems, you really don't understand what your bottle cost is, or your keg cost, whatever that is, because
Mm-hmm.
you have recipes, or you have like a product, and there's shipping and there's taxes, there's all these layers in there. So really understanding every aspect of your pricing so you can make good decisions is really important, I think. And that's something that having a modern ERP system, like one of the Microsoft ones, makes a huge difference in making that easier, but also more accurate.
ERP, what is that acronym?
Oh yeah, enterprise resource planning tool. So that's the
There we go.
system. Thank you for that. So that's just like your
Yep.
finance and accounting. So a lot of people use QuickBooks, but that's like a low, like more of an accounting. You want If you want better systems, you need finance and operations in there too. And that
Yeah.
way, like you can see all your inventory, you can get an inventory valuation, you can understand what your true cost is for all the components that go into your product. So that's what an enterprise system looks like. And you don't have to be a Fortune 500 company to afford this. You can be a 10 or $20 million company and have a really advanced system. There's a lot of offerings out there, but the key is you have to work with your vendor, whoever that software vendor is, to get their best people and also get all the bells and whistles that you can for the money that you're going to pay.
Yeah, for sure. And also to figure out how you can implement that with the people that are there. And maybe you have to, like, have you seen, like, maybe having to shift some jobs around, or some jobs have become obsolete because of this technology? And how do you kind of deal with that on the human side?
Yeah, that's one of the hardest things of any. Everyone hates change, so it's trying to figure out who the right people are. I would say
Yeah.
there's a lot of turnover after a big system change, just only because people are used to it doing it one way and they don't really want to learn. But newer people will come in and be excited about it. So, you have to understand that the recent college graduates have all grown up with technology. So if you come in and you've got a paper process or Excel, they're like, "What are you doing?" Like,
Yeah.
and so they're looking for companies that are tech forward. So if you're trying to recruit people, I think having good technology makes a huge difference.
I mean, I even think, like I'm a child of the '90s basically, and we started getting internet when I was about 13, probably 12 or 13 years old, however old I was. Dial up, CompuServe, and all that stuff, right?
Yeah.
And so even me, when I go in and I go into a company and I look at their systems and what they're doing, even before the AI things started happening, I'm like, this could be done, this could be done, this could be done. And there's people in the brewing industry specifically that are like really against change. So how do you kind of soften that blow, or how do you make it so they can? I know we talked about doing steps earlier, but what are some other ways like that you can soften that blow and make that easier for maybe a head brewer or someone who's like an artist who's really good at this stuff that needs to adapt, that maybe they're just like a little hesitant?
Yeah, it's always a challenge, but I think, like you said, Steve, it's going so fast. In the next 3 years, there's going to be more change than in the last 200 years in terms of technology. So I think people are starting to realize it's easier than they thought. I mean, back in the
Yeah.
90s, technology was hard. Nothing ever worked. Right? You
Plug in. What are you talking about, Jim? Plug and play.
got the DOS
Microsoft.
and the blues. Yeah, a lot of stuff didn't work, but once
No, you'd plug a mouse in and it wouldn't work. You'd plug it into the computer and it wouldn't work.
I think one of the
It's
biggest technology
amazing.
breakthroughs was the smartphone, because
Totally.
once people could actually touch the screen and it would open and they found that it worked, I think a lot of older executives went, "Oh, why can't my team use this? This is not, my grandkids can use this. This is not hard." And I think
Yeah.
that's played forward. So I think that had a lot of impact is, Android and iPhones that came out, and the tablets. And now people, if you ask my kids who are in their 20s, like, they're like, yeah, technology works. Now you and I
Yeah.
know, like, it didn't used to work. And
Mm-mm.
so I
No.
think part of the confidence level when you're switching systems, if you're talking to that brewer that's an artist, it's like, this technology is going to make you better and faster, and here's why. Here's how I can show you. And you, like you said, with, it took you 2 or 3 hours to do something. Now it takes you 10 minutes, and you get a much more bigger range, so you can make a choice. If they start using that, they're going to get hooked on it, I think, and it
I
gives
do
them an
too.
opportunity to be better. But um, and then I was listening to Elon Musk the other day. Like, it's all going robotics. Like, AI, the only way to get AI into the physical world is a robot. So, I just saw that the first McDonald's that's fully robotic or fully automated came out.
Ugh,
No people.
I don't like that. I mean, McDonald's, the people that work at McDonald's need that job. We need to keep them there. For the most part,
Well,
the McDonald's that I go to, they need that job. Keep them there. Like,
well,
you don't let them out.
but but the biggest challenge with food service is cost of labor. So
Yeah, I guess.
finding it. So you can't blame them for trying to add more automation. So those jobs will find themselves in other places, I believe. But it's not if, Steve, it's coming. Like, these jobs that are labor intensive that can be automated will be, just like computer
Yeah.
programming. Like, there's a lot of developers now that are using AI tools, but there's going to be less developers as the tools build more. But I've chosen to be an AI optimist. I think it's going to be way more good than bad. So just like, a lot of people worked in bookstores, and there's no more bookstores anymore when all went Amazon, like, those people all found the next thing. So that, I think you can see over cycles, those jobs come back and come back in different ways that are more meaningful.
Yes, they opened book and beer bars like the one we have here in town, which is really cool. Old Speak. Shout out to Old Speak. What are some hidden costs associated with this sort of upgrade?
I think if, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to probably reduce the number of people working with you, which reduces payroll, but it doesn't always work out that way, because there's more work to be done than there are, for the employees than there's time in a day. I think how you look at your return on investment on technology has to be a longer term game. You have to really look at it not in a 1 or 2 year, but more of a 4 or 5 year, what's it's going to be. But with AI, I mean, the cost of AI keeps dropping, and it's going to make things easier and less expensive. I think there's going to be a lot of opportunity for companies, but also employees, to have more options.
So you think like within that 40-hour work week or whatever it is that they're going to be have more time maybe to work on other projects within the company rather than some of the automated, like some of the payroll stuff and some of the other stuff that we used to do by hand.
Yeah, I mean, even now, like, you can take a picture of a receipt or take a picture of a data, and it'll upload and it'll convert. You don't have to. The days of typing into a system. I mean, I heard a stat
Yeah.
that when you look at, like, the number of clerical workers was, if you look at the number of people that lost union jobs for manufacturing, there was way more people that lost clerical jobs over the
Yeah.
last 50 years. But they weren't all in one place. They weren't like in one town, one manufacturing thing. So it became a little less. But jobs are going to change. I mean, it's not if so, but Steve, it's also never been easier to learn. You just
Yeah.
type something in ChatGPT, or you go to a YouTube video, like, and there's all these online courses. Like, it's never been easier to learn a new skill.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, YouTube is the most, I think you say the phone is the most important. I got YouTube like maybe two or three just right behind the phone because you can go on there. I'm sure you could go on there and learn enough to pass the bar. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
like why you need to go. And I mean, and I went to college. I went to, I went and got a college degree and all that stuff. And I'm happy for it. But like, I could totally see how now someone would be like, well, I want to learn how to do this, and they would just go onto YouTube for a day and learn it, right?
Yeah. Well, I think that what I meant by the phone is that it changed people's perception of how technology worked, because they could
Right,
touch
it
it.
works.
Work.
Yeah,
But now with YouTube, it changed the way people learn. I mean, you look at the Khan Academy with the way they've done all this great learnings for schools, and made it easier so they can flip the classroom. You learn the lesson at home, and then the teacher helps supplement that in the classroom. Hasn't really
yeah,
taken hold in a lot of places, but where it has, it's worked really well. So education is going to change. And you think about this, at the end of the day, an AI tool is really just an educator because it's distilled down information into a manageable bite to answer your question. That's just what we've been doing for hundreds of years in education as well, and writing books and all those things. So it's just an extension of that.
So what about the other side, like another side of the business of the wine and beer business, which is marketing and selling? In what ways can we use AI, or can our friends in the brewery and winery industry use AI to make the selling and marketing of their product that much more efficient?
I think really analysis. I mean, one of the hardest parts of any business is you're so busy you don't take time to stop and analyze who are our customers, where are they coming from, what price are they paying, what
Yeah.
what offers can we make them to help them buy more, or find things that are better suited to their preferences. So there's a lot of insights you can gather, and AI tools positioned on top of your data is the future. You're just gonna be able to ask just a simple question and get results and just go back and forth like you were saying earlier. It's like a conversation.
Right on.
So people say it's
So
like having a really
go
it's like
ahead.
having a really good intern. It's like having an intern that can just like kill it.
It's like having a really good intern. I love that. Well, we all know that there's nothing better than having a really good intern. That's a huge part of the business process. Jim, we're going to take a short break. We're going to come right back. We're going to talk about distributors. We only have one now here in Boise. It bought up all the other ones. So we only have the one, but we're going to talk about it anyway. We're also going to get into some other AI tools that are popular, and I'm going to ask you about them and see if you think that, what you think about them, basically. We're going to try to be nice to everybody. And
Okay.
we're also probably going to be very, very mean to some. We'll be right back on the Idaho Booze Podcast right after this. Did you know that Boise Beer Buddies actually covers the entire state of Idaho? Yeah, plus parts of Oregon, Wyoming, and Nevada. You can be a buddy in 4 states. And it's never been a better time to be a buddy with Boise Beer Buddies. With so many amazing bars, restaurants, breweries, wineries, and speakeasies to choose from in the Gem State. Plus, oh man, the cost of beer, wine, and cocktails just continues to skyrocket. Why not save a couple bucks per trip out? Save $1 off your first pint at the Pour Company in Moscow. Get $1 off your first pint at the new St. Agony Brewing in St. Anthony. Head to Reno. Get 10% off all beer and wearables at Revision Brewing. Use my promo code BOOZEPOD and get a Boise Beer Buddy card for your best drinking buddy just in time for Labor Day. Do that today at BoiseBeerBuddies.com and get the Boise Beer Buddies app. Be a buddy and join Boise Beer Buddies today. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. We're here with Jim Harris. Jim, still doing good?
Yeah, it's been fun.
You've been in the blender now for a whole 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Doing all right?
I'm doing all right.
These tough questions. This is gotcha podcasting is what we do here at Idaho.
Later in the day, I'd have a pint or a glass of wine, but it's still too early right now.
God, it sounds good, doesn't it? What I didn't even ask. Where are you living? What are you doing? What is this beautiful piece of art behind you?
I'm in Nashville, Tennessee.
Yeah.
I've been here a while, and I don't know. My wife put the art up. I don't pay attention to that.
Nashville, Tennessee, beautiful. Yeah. So out there, you're working for Western Computer, doing marketing for or doing AI research and tools and stuff for. Basically, you do business solutions, right, for wineries and breweries and stuff, and distributors, stuff like that.
I handle the sales side, so I help them, find out what their issues are and see how we can help them solve it. That's what software sales is. It's just, everybody's got problems. And like we've said, software is invisible. You got to actually make it real to people.
Yeah.
Make things easier. Take steps out, think about how to make it work. And AI agents are coming. They're going to do a lot of these things. People are going to be blown away by how fast things can be done.
So I've been writing a book about wine. I've been writing a wine book for the last several months. And I think our friends in the wine industry do need help. Are there any amazing AI tools out there that you're suggesting specifically to wineries that'll help them with not just with Wine Club, but also in the future? I mean, they're going to still be pretty hands-on, at least the ones that want to be, with picking and choosing grapes and stuff like that. Or has AI gotten good at that too? Is it good at picking grapes?
Not yet. I think there's some machinery out there that's going to get there, and which is basically a robot. all those things are coming. And just reading, with the new Chat GPT 5 that came out just in the last week, it costs them a lot less to build the model. There's going to be AI in everything. Every camera is going to have AI in it to help read. Gotten really good at reading visual stuff. So yeah, I can see it going into production at some point. There's cost benefit for all these things, but from a marketing standpoint, there's a ton of good tools out there. I'd say like ChatGPT is a really good generic tool. I do pay for it because I think if you want to get a good experience and test it out, you have to do that. I've also used,
and so it doesn't tell you you're out of time every 15 minutes.
yeah. And I use Claude.ai, which is a really good writing tool. So if you're writing marketing copy, everybody I talk to that's in marketing or in writing, like even for you, Steve, writing a book, Claude.ai is the clear winner. It's got
to check it out.
It's got a good, my understanding from what I've researched on it, it's very good with tone and voice and those kind of things. So it's definitely the most well known for that. There's a couple that are good for programmers. I like for research, I use Grok, which is the X tool that is out there. They do a good job of, because some of the models are, months behind, where Grok will go out and do a fresh search on it and pull stuff back. And I have the free version of that. That's been really good. But Gemini, I mean, Google may wind up winning the whole game here. I mean, ChatGPT's got a lead, but Google has been doing AI for so many years. I mean, as soon as you just type in that Google search box and start filling it in with a few choices, that's AI. That's predicting what you're going to want to choose based on your history and what other people have. So they've been using AI longer than everyone. They have the most complete database. So it's going to be interesting to see where that comes out. But no matter what, we as consumers and businesses are going to win because the cost is going down and the value is going up. So I don't know. I don't really care who wins as long as it's available and it's relatively inexpensive.
So we think the biggest losers in this whole AI battle are Yahoo and Alta Vista, right? Because Yahoo they were the first search system or search whatever tool, and they just got blown out of the water by Google. I mean, that's basically what happened. So now Google, I mean, it's sort of unbelievable to think about. It's almost like thinking about $1 trillion, like how much data Google already has as a head start to all this, right? Like they already know, and people are, with their tinfoil hats on, are saying, don't get my data, bro. But Google has had your data forever and ever. Every time you put something into the computer, it learns more about you. So yeah, I think you're right. Right now, I think Gemini is a little clunky. I think I pay like 79 cents a month for it or something like that. And I think it's a little clunky right now. I think ChatGPT 5 is really slick and really nice. But I think you're right. I mean, I think Gemini might be the thing that comes up and ends up being the big time like AI bot of the future, just because of all the data, right?
Yeah, I mean, Yahoo will try to keep everybody on their website back in the early 2000s. Google, with that really simple interface, was trying to take you someplace else.
Yeah,
and that was the difference in model, and it was simpler. You get it, and you get the results, and then people would pay to get the results, profiled. I think it's going to be interesting because right now, when you go on to Google, you get the Gemini, you get like an AI answer. A lot of times you don't even have to leave the website to get your answer. So they're embedding it in there. So it's going to be interesting to see, but the price is coming down. It's going to go faster. There's going to be more. There's so much investment in data infrastructure. So from a business standpoint, everyone needs to be using it. The question is like, what's the best use cases for a brewery or for a winery?
Yeah, and I think with wineries, getting to know some of the winemakers out here, I was just going to say Yahoo, awesome fantasy football app. Don't change that. But as far as AI and search goes, it's sort of over. It's a standing 10 count. You're sort of out of the game. But so wineries, I think, as I've gotten to know them, as I've gotten to know more winemakers and more people involved with the wine industry, it's a much more, I would say, like hands-on sort of people-to-people approach. Like, I think, and I was talking to a winemaker just last week about maybe doing some digital marketing. She was talking about getting her wine club numbers up, stuff like that. And she was even like and she's a farmer. She lives out, in the middle of nowhere in Idaho. And not really the middle of nowhere, but she lives out. She has a farm. She has a vineyard. And she was very much like, I felt like she was very much like put off by the notion of using like even a digital marketing like tool. So like, what do like? I just feel like, and I'm not really going to ask a question because we've already kind of gone over it. But I just feel once we're able to convince the breweries to go that route, maybe the wineries are going to be a little bit tougher. Do you kind of find that you work with a lot of wineries? You find that they're kind of not as into digital tools or using computers or anything like that?
I think there's almost too many tools that people are using now.
Oh
Like
wow,
it's gotten to a point where like, I mean, if you just make a list of all the software you use in a day, and it's going to get pretty close to
oh,
20
I
pretty
know.
quickly.
Yeah,
And so I think it's, and that's almost too many. So like, if you have a new employee and they have to learn 10 new things, like how do you scrunch that down? Well, AI agents is going to do a lot of that. So if you've got all these documents in your about how you do things, your best practices about your wines, your spirit, your whatever products you have, you're going to be able to put an AI agent on there and ask it a question, and it'll go find the best answer. Kind of like having a mini Google just for
yeah,
your media, and that's coming. That's that's not if that's going to be here soon, and I think that's going to help with people with training. It's going to help people with using less tools because that's I think what it's going to be more about, Steve, is like there's there's almost too many tools right now. How do you consolidate down to a manageable number so you can actually have better systems, better practices, easier to use? Like your person you're talking about that doesn't want to get on is because I've been on the Facebook ads and also Google ads. They're hard. Like you have to. There's going to be a point where you just I want to do this and it's
yeah,
going to come out this price good and it'll just do it for you. Like it's not going to have to know all the steps. You're not going to have to know all the steps.
yeah. I think Facebook's taken a big, or Meta has taken a big step in that direction with their new Andromeda update. That thing is pretty slick. I've used. I mean, obviously, I use Facebook, ads, and they're different. I mean, it certainly is different. But I think if you with anything else, as with anything else, I think if you stay ahead of it, you're able to kind of compete and work with it, and I think it works for you in the end, right?
Yeah.
Totally.
So I think
So
yeah, I think it's going to the folks that are not technology savvy. This is going to level the playing field a little bit.
but it still comes down to a great product, right? Like in the end, you still have to make a great product, especially in the alcohol beverage space. So like it's going to be interesting to see, like if there is like a winery or a brewery or something that uses all these products and does a really great job, but if their product they put out is still inferior, they're not going to be able to. I mean, competition is going to be tough, right?
It is, but I think the bev alc space in general has gotten too tied to the product itself.
Oh,
I
okay,
think
that's
consumers
interesting.
love a story. I don't know that you can tell the difference between some of these products. I mean, maybe the brewer can because they're tasting every day, or the winery can, but like most people don't. I watch what people drink, and it's like that's not really a great product, but they drink it every time they go to the store. That's what they pick up. It's like okay, well, I'm gonna go to the grocery store and see what's on the shelf. Like
Yeah,
those are the wines and beers that sell. Are they good products? They are. Do they have good marketing? Yeah, a lot of them. Do they have good
they have to
execution?
be at least kind of good.
Yeah, I mean,
Can't
they're
like
not that so good, but like, I don't think good product alone is enough. I think it's
yeah.
table stakes.
No, I'm sure. Hey, as a marketing person, I agree with you 100%. So let's try to help out our distributor friends. Let's really, I know I have a few guys out there that listen and to the pod, and I know that most of the people that probably listen are on the sales end. They're the guys out there humping every day, out on the trail. So what sort of AI tools are out there for those guys? And then as we level up into the warehouse and stuff like that, what's going on that's helping out our friends in the warehouse, and then even our friends up in the C-suite, the nice offices.
Yeah, from the distributor side, I think there's going to be a lot of work done on optimizing a sales reps, not only their route, and I know in beer they're very route specific, but wine and spirits is more. They have too many accounts for a given. They have 100 accounts. They can see 20 or 30 in a week. So like, which to help you, there's going to be AI tools that are developed, and there's no specific one to name, Steve, but that's going to basically tell me what's my next best opportunity and what should I be talking about when I get there. It's going to help you just to define like, oh, I haven't talked to that guy in a week, but when I go back, he needs to talk about this, Shiraz or this. Like, it's going to help you remember what you did before. It's going to help you understand. It'll look at the customer's website, maybe their Facebook. It'll give you more information to help you be more effective. So I think
Yeah,
AI,
for sure.
because time management is the hardest for a sales rep. They only have so many hours in a day, especially if they're driving, drive time. Like, how do I hit 3 accounts instead of 2? How do I hit 5 accounts instead of 3? Like optimizing your route, optimizing your time, helping you selectively send out like emails, getting stuff back, having content that's ready made so you can customize your presentation. I think all those things are out there, but earlier, like I said, there's too many places to go. I think that's all going to consolidate down where as a sales rep, you're going to have one place to get all those different things done. And the AI will just figure it out in the background how to make all the pieces fit.
Yeah, I feel like that was always the hardest thing for me when I was on the route was not only time. I mean, time management's the ultimate thing. I mean, it's the one thing we all have the same amount of. And it's, to me, it's almost like which accounts don't I visit as opposed to which ones do I? Because like you go in through the week and you look and like I worked at a distributor with like one other sales rep for the whole city, the whole area, Boise area. So we each had like, 100 clients, 100 accounts. So like, how do you decide which one is which? And so are there AI tools out there right now that our salespeople friends can go out and get that will help them, save time and make more money?
I don't have a specific name of a product, but I think that's where you go back to your existing vendors that you're using every day. Like the sales reps have
Mm-hmm.
software. It's like, go to those
Yeah.
folks and say like, okay, how do I add an AI component to this? Now we have that with our system. We have a product for the wine and wine and spirit distributors, and we're adding AI agents in to help people do basic stuff. Like when an order comes in to the office, it'll read it and then convert it into a sales order without anybody touching it. It can still get approval. So there's a lot of workflow that you can automate with AI tools. But from a sales perspective out in the field, I think there's going to be a lot of optimization. That's been more prevalent in the warehouse. A lot of warehouses have more automation built in and all more process built in, but there's
Yeah.
still room for improvement. I mean, if you look at a forklift at a big warehouse, it's driving tens of miles a day,
Mm-hmm.
going in circles. Like, is that the best order of operation? Is that the best route to take? So I think there's going to be a lot. I think there's going to be a lot of robotics that come in there as well, because some of those things are heavy, they're dangerous, and they're repetitive. So I think that's the perfect example of where you put a robot.
Are there any AI tools out there that we should know about that we don't? So like all of us know about ChatGPT. We all know about Gemini. We all know maybe about, like you said, Copilot. I use Pixlr a lot. You talked about Grok. That's on Twitter. So everybody kind of has heard of that. Andromeda is something I bet a lot of people haven't heard of because they're not going to use it. Really. You talked about Claude. What's a couple of AI tools out there that maybe you're using on a day-to-day basis that maybe the rest of us don't know about?
Honestly, that's the list. I mean, I've tried all of those at some level, pay for most of them at some time. Got 3 that I pay for now for different things. So, yeah, I really think that you're going to be able to find tools. And I mean, I think the go-to is ChatGPT. It's probably the most advanced, but the other ones are good too. And, some of it's how much you pay, but also what you get for it. And you got to try different things. I mean, sometimes I'll put the same prompt into both and I'll see what's the better answer, but that's kind of subjective. It's kind of a small sample size, but I don't think there's any. I think you named them all, Steve. I don't think there's any new ones I would add. I would just say start using it every day. That's the only way to get better at this stuff. Start using it every day.
Yeah, to me, it seems like Gemini is a little bit more like, I mean, I don't want to say nerdy, but Gemini to me comes off as kind of nerdy with its answers, and ChatGPT kind of gives it to me straight, like the way I kind of want it. Maybe it's just because I've interacted with ChatGPT more, but Gemini to me, like I did the same thing. I put the same question into Gemini as I did to ChatGPT, and the answers I got were really, really different. Did you find that too? That the answers were totally different?
Yeah, how they set it up, the wording on it, and then it's just like, what's the feel of this? Do I like the way this is written versus that? Am I learning more from this versus that? So
Yeah,
yeah,
that was fascinating. And Jim, I really appreciate you coming on the show today. I have one more question for you. The question to end all questions. This is it right here. Is AI the end of us all? And do we have a chance to survive it? Be honest.
oh yes, we definitely have a chance to survive it. I mean, there's some science fiction things out there that show, but I think there's going to be way more good that's produced from this than bad, and I think it's going to open up so many other opportunities.
Yes, the new show Alien Earth has some stuff in it that is very scary. So watch out for that. Well,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being on the show today, Jim. I really appreciate it. Go ahead and tell us where people can find you and, what you're kind of up to.
Uh, westerncomputer.com. Find us on there. We've got a really good food and beverage section of our website. It's got a lot of videos, a lot of content. You can reach out to me if you want to learn about how we can apply that to your business.
Hear that, everybody? Go find Jim. He will help you get better. And he will use AI to help you guys get more efficient and do better in the marketplace. Jim, thanks so much for being on the show today. I really appreciate it. We're going to come right back with a community calendar right after this.
Thanks, Steve.
Cool. Hey, thank you, Jim. Good to meet you.
Good to meet you, too.
All right. Cheers. It is the last call for a family road trip, and Treasure Valley Chevron has everything you need to get out on the great highways and byways of these United States. Drinks, snacks, candy, ready to go hot food like corn dogs, nachos, and I am happy to tell you, Treasure Valley Chevron now has a bucket of delicious barbecue ribs ready to go with you out the door. Now, I'm kind of a barbecue guy. And when I say that, I mean I'm a real big barbecue guy. And so I'm telling you, these ribs are fall off the bone, finger licking good baby backs. And you know that's the truth. Get these ribs plus amazing deals on Idaho-made beer and wine and any other thing you need for that last family getaway at Treasure Valley Chevron at Beacon Light and Highway 55, I-84, and Gowan Road. Welcome back to the show. Jim was great, wasn't he? Great guy, knows a ton, super smart. And thanks a lot for being on, Jim. Really appreciate you having you on. Maybe we'll have you back on some other time. Talk more AI. I love talking about AI. It's a lot of fun. So this is a new segment called Craft Beer is Dead. That's right. I'm going to have a companion piece on my Substack, idahobooze.substack.com, that you can subscribe to for free. That's going to go out tomorrow morning, which will flesh this out a little more. If you have any ideas on it, please hit me up at idahoboozepod@gmail.com and let me know why you think craft beer is dead. So let's start with the premise. Craft beer obviously is not dead, but it's not living its best life right now. Breweries are closing left and right. Every time I open up my browser, I see more and more breweries are closing, and not just like small little shitty ones either, like big ones that I used to like. Yeah, closing up sucks. Then breweries, if they're not closing, they're being bought up by these giant weed companies, or the beer companies aren't buying them up quite as much anymore. But yeah, that one weed company, the Canadians, they're buying them up, stripping them, closing them down. They did it with 10 Barrel. They did it with Hop Valley. Shelf space. I mean, losing out to Modelo Michelada variety packs. That's sad. We shouldn't be losing out to that. That's disgusting. I have been wanting to talk about this stuff for a while, but I've been kind of kicking around in my head how to package it, because I don't want to be like doom and gloom, but I also want to deliver this message in a way that is both entertaining, fun, but also that you get it, you understand. And so it's called Craft Beer is Dead. So how do we know craft beer is dead? Well, this week we know craft beer is dead because Spitfire Pizza in Boise closed. Rich is a great dude. I used to see him at Beer 30. Now the Beer 30 story would be a prequel to Craft Beer is Dead called Craft Beer is Dying. Poor Beer 30. Chris, if you're listening, I really hope you aren't, but if you are, loved that place. Beer 30 was the best. I miss those guys. So Rich, one of the guys at Beer 30, awesome dude, super tall, a lot of fun. He was able to open up Spitfire about 7 years ago. And Spitfire Pizza offered a new take on pizza for Boise. Namely, that it wasn't a soulless, sort of cardboardy tasting thing that nobody really wants. This was Detroit style pizza, like a French bread-ish style pizza with amazing toppings. The pepperoni they had was so good. The sauce was so good. The olives, you can tell my favorite was the Detroiter. That's the one I got. They had a killer sauce. The crust was always just perfect. And I try to bake. I'm not very good at it, but this guy, Rich, he put together this crust and had a certain mix of like olive oil and maybe like cornmeal or something. Just really, really good. Pizza was good enough. It was so good. But Rich didn't want to just open a, Domino's or Little Caesars or whatever. He wanted to open like a restaurant, like not like a restaurant. He wanted to open a restaurant. And I think he was going for like a pizza place of old where people met up like after softball games or soccer practice or just on a random Saturday afternoon to sit down, drink a couple of delicious craft beers and eat. And that's what you got when you went to Spitfire. There were lots of tables. The games were on all over. Friendly people working up front, oftentimes very good looking. Men and women, no judgment here. I mean, they had a really nice staff. His staff was always so friendly, so just eager, and they really helped make the place more kind of authentic. Because Rich is a nice guy, and I talked to Rich every time I went there. But it was good that he was able to hire some they look like to me like Boise State kids. I don't know, and it helped create this sort of family friendly atmosphere, and I really enjoyed that. We did a couple of tap takeovers and stuff there that were a lot of fun. And it was always like, it never was like a bar where it'd be like one guy or a couple. It was like oftentimes like 4 to 6 people, and families and kids and stuff. So I thought it was an awesome place. I really liked it. The best part though, besides the pizza, is that we finally had a huge craft beer nerd in control of the tap list. Rich loves craft beer and it showed. His tap list was amazing, always different, with a multitude of styles and varieties. I could always count on his tap list to have something that I wanted. No matter what I was in the mood for. I could be in the mood for something light, something dark, something hoppy, usually something hoppy. Rich would have it on tap. Other places, North End Pizza, promised to deliver on that. They opened up saying they were going to be a craft beer place, but instead they hired a hipster, or several hipsters, to populate the tap. So got a bevy of, good beers, I guess. A lot of weird Belgian stuff and shitty sort of cool beers. At Spitfire, I often had to settle for just my first selection because I was picking up a pie to go, or maybe I was stopping in to say hi or whatever it was. And I didn't have time to sit there and have 4 beers. He would always have at least 4 beers that were amazing. And so what happened? I haven't spoken to Rich, so I don't know the story, but I bet it goes a little something like this. He was doing okay when he first opened, maybe even pretty good, probably pretty good. He had a great place, good pizza, awesome tap list. Like I said, pretty good. When the pandemic hit, yeah. And people got used to door dashing, and pizza is probably, I would say, the most DoorDash thing besides 12 packs of Modelo Michelada variety packs. So lots of people door dashed and didn't come in, and they sort of just kept doing that. And it got too expensive to run the whole restaurant on mainly just DoorDash orders, so he had to close. It sucks. Why does this mean craft beer is dead? Besides the stunning pizza that he was putting out, the tap list was the main draw to Spitfire. Without people actually coming in to eat and drink, you take away his second best weapon. It means craft beer is dead because craft beer fans didn't care enough about it to frequent his spot, and thus dead. What can we do? When you see something, say something, people. Use the Boise Beer Buddies app. See, Stacey, I got background. Use social media. Get the word out when you see a fantastic tap list. Restaurant owners are getting hosed on craft beer. Hosed. Kegs are expensive. Too expensive. Least you can do is shout out when a place has amazing stuff on tap. Just do it. Hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram or Facebook or wherever. Let me know. I'll put it out. I'll talk about it on the show. What do we do? What do we do now? I'll start. Proof in Star. It's owned by Brian Forcina, who opened Eureka and is one hell of a good dude. Just a great dude. Not only is the food there crazy good, they make all their own bread and They have pizza and they have a bunch of, it's just awesome. Great place. The wings are probably some of the best in town. And by town, obviously now I'm stretching it out to Star. When you live in Eagle, Star becomes part of your life. That's how it works. I'm not going to Middleton. Let me just make that very clear right now. Star is where I draw the line. Star. Back to proof. So not only does Brian have really good food and everything's scratch kitchen, it's just a freaking awesome place, but he has curated a selection of whiskey that is second to none. His whiskey selection is crazy good. And his beer selection, awesome. Always has locals on. I don't even know if he rotates. I think maybe he rotates like 1 or 2 taps, but hey, I can get that Italian Pilsner from Sockeye, whatever it's called, Va Bene, I forget what it's called. It's right there on State Street next door to another amazing craft beer bar, Tap House. So go check him out. Get out there to Star, go to Proof. Check out Brian. He has awesome stuff on tap, great food, good dude. And if you want to drink more beers, go next door to Tap House, which is also awesome. Go see Rachel. So until next time, let's pour one out. Not a whole one, just a little bit. Beer is crazy expensive for Rich and Spitfire. Rich, 7 years is a good run, buddy. I don't think Boise realized what it had. Happy trail, Spitfire. We'll see you down the road. I'll be back to wrap things up right after this. This show brought to you by Warren Reserve Cocktail Company and WarrenReserve.com. It's still kind of hot. It's August. It's still a little warm out there, but the nights are getting cooler, right? As we move towards fall, old-fashioned season is coming back. Oh, and you need to be ready. And have I got the product for you? They finally did it. Adrian and Danny at Warren Reserve finally put my old fashioned kit up on the website. It is there. You can go and buy my old fashioned bundle. This is going to be the burnt sugar syrup. Amazing. So good. So much better than regular simple syrup. Just an amazing flavor, complex flavors, amazing with that old fashioned, with any whiskey really, but really paired nicely with a nice like 100 proof whiskey. Really, really good. Aromatic bitters are on there. The Warren Reserve aromatic bitters, different than the ones you're used to, a little bit more flavor, a little bit more sort of oomph in these bitters. And then my favorite, my absolute favorite bitter, the West 509 almond bitter. When I tell you that I love this bitter, I am not joking around here. I'm not essing around. These are the best. This is the best combination for an old fashioned. This is the kit that you want. WarrenReserve.com. Pick up my old fashioned kit. And I tell you what, I'm going to throw in a little deal here for you. Use promo code IdahoBooze25, support the show, and get 15% off my old-fashioned bundle. It's right there, right under my big fake picture. The old-fashioned bundle, burnt sugar syrup, aromatic bitters, West 509 almond bitters, all at WarrenReserve.com. Go and get it today. Get ready for old-fashioned season with me and my old-fashioned bundle and promo code IdahoBooze25. Get 15% off at WarrenReserve.com. Welcome back to the Idaho Booze Podcast. I'm Steve Kuntz, and we are wrapping up today's show. Thanks to everybody out there for listening. Thank you to Warren Reserve and Warren Reserve Cocktail Company. Go to WarrenReserve.com. Use my promo code IdahoBooze25 when you buy the, I don't even know what it's called. I guess it's the Idaho Booze Pack or something. But it's burnt sugar syrup, which is fucking delicious. It's in a couple bottles of bitters, aromatic bitters and West 509 bitters. You get all that for $34.99. Slap 15% off of that with my promo code IdahoBooze25. And there you have it. You got yourself the perfect cocktail mix. You can make so many cocktails with that mix. I'm telling you right now, go get it. I want to thank Boise Beer Buddies. Stacy's doing a great job out there doing the Lord's work. Make sure you check out BoiseBeerBuddies.com. Get yourself a Boise Beer Buddies card, and why not get 2? A friend of mine just recently sent me a text. My cards, they are expiring. What do I do? I was like, calm down. Calm down. Go to BoiseBeerBuddies.com. Use my promo code BoozePod. Guess what? 2 for 1 on those cards. That's right. You're only paying for 1, buddy. You're set. Now you can go have 1 beer at a place. Go have a pint of beer for $10. So yeah, BoiseBeerBuddies.com. Sign up. use my promo code BoostPod. Support the show with that and Warren Reserve. Who else do I want to thank? I want to thank Rich and Spitfire. You guys were awesome. 7 years is a good run. You guys made the best pizza in town, had an amazing tab list. We're going to miss you. And, I can't wait to see what Rich does next. Hopefully he does something next. I would be excited for that. I would like to see what he does next. And just want to thank all of you out there for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in and checking us out each and every week. If you like, go check out my companion piece for Craft Beer is Dead on my Substack. That's substack.idahobooze.com to sign up, and you'll get it delivered each and every time I write or say or video something and send it out to all the peeps. Also, Journey to Idaho Wine, which is my other thing that I'm doing, writing a wine book. And would love for you guys to be involved. So go check out Journey to Idaho Wine. It's $5 a month. And it is we're doing some fun stuff on there. We're putting some videos and stuff on there that you don't get to see anywhere else. So go check that out as well. Thanks to everyone out there again for listening. Really appreciate it. I hope you have an amazing fair weekend and enjoy this last couple weeks of August. I love the end of August. It's warm outside and during the day, but man, it cools down. Like right around 8:30, it cools down pretty nicely. So you can get outside and do some fun stuff or whatever it is you want to do. I love this time of year. Besides the flies. I don't like the flies, but everything else is great. And so with that, I am saying to you, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thank you so much for subscribing. Good day and good drinking, everyone.